Rolling? Everybody's rolling? Yep. Okay, I'm going to stand right here.
All right.
And you can look, probably the place
All right.
to look is kind of at me.
No.
Can you talk about the players and their benefits and why the guys, the legends who need them so much aren't getting them?
Well, the game of football, you know, it's evolved into a tremendously big business. But it didn't happen in the last 5 years or 10 years. It happened over a period of about 60 years. The development of how much money was put into the game, how much effort was put into the game. And these old players really played the game a lot differently than people play it today. And only in this sense. When they got hurt, they played. When they got knocked out, they played. When they got concussed, they played. It wasn't a matter of, well, geez, we're going to take a week off or we're going to have a team doctor check you. Basically, what they had is a team doctor check you, and they'd go like that, and if you said 2, they didn't matter. That was good. You went back in. So that's just the way the game was played. And I don't think anybody who plays the game gripes about that. I certainly don't. I enjoyed every bit of it. So, you know, we talk about the pension. The pension's not fair, period. You know, when you look at other sports, it's not fair. If they want to fix the pension, match baseballs. That would be very simple. But, you know, and it's a big business. They can afford to do it. So when you're talking about some of these guys that I played with and in my era and a little bit before me, telling these guys to take their pension early because of life expectancy, they're not going to live that long. All of a sudden, they are living that long. And they're getting $200 a month. And that ain't going to get it done. And it would be different. But these people are people who were major contributors to the success of this game we call football. And it happened over a period of 50, 60 years. So it's not all about the guys in the game today. They're wonderful. They're the caretakers of the game. But the other people are the pioneers of the game. They started the game. So to me, you know, I think the pension should be addressed. I understand there's a lot of groups out there. If the league could work through only one group, fine. Work through the NFL alumni. They represent the former players of the league. Work through them. Do something. But we have a policy of delay, deny, and wait till they die. And that's not right. It really isn't. Because over a period of time, guys get tired. You know, you don't want to make proud men beg. And they get tired of it. They throw up their hands and say it's not worth it. Well, it probably isn't because, you know, it's not their nature to go about it, to beg for something that they really deserve.
Does this have to be done now? In your mind, it has to be done right now?
This has been put off for so long, you know, and right now what George and the NFL alumni, they want it done in 2011. If not now, when? I mean, if not now, when? What year? Give us a year 2025? That doesn't make any sense. It needs to be done now. I think George told me 130 NFL alumni died last year. It's a lot of guys. Well, I understand. I mean, everybody's going to die. We're all going to die. But some of them died in very bad shape and didn't have very much going for them. You know, we could address a lot of things. The pension's, you know, a significant thing. The medical is very, very important. That they can carry some kind of medical benefits forward after they get out of football. Because, I mean, it's going to be a never-ending problem. You say, well, you know, all of a sudden nothing shows up for 10 years after you retired from the game. All of a sudden something shows up. That would make more sense to me. It probably would be after 10 or 20 years out of the game.
And the pre-existing conditions, so insurance companies won't pick them up, and you got guys who are broke, and these are the guys who built the league on their back. The league is very successful where it is today, and it's on their back, these legends.
Well, you're exactly right. But here's the one thing that we've made some inroads in the sense that we've gone to a number of medical groups and clinics around the country. And we have got some pro bono care for these guys. I mean, major surgeries and aftercare and rehab and those things. People are willing to do it, but it's not their responsibility to do it. It really is the league's responsibility. I mean, if we as a small group could go out and find these doctor groups who are willing to do something and willing to help and willing to contribute in the concussion area or whatever area, why wouldn't the league do it? I mean, I'm not sure I understand it, that's all. It's not like we don't wave any magic wand. We're not Superman. We just ask these people here, we need a guy who needs this surgery. He needs a back surgery. Or he needs whatever kind of surgery it was. And we've got them done. So it's It's pretty interesting. And most of the doctors, they're willing to do it. They're willing to take a part of it. It's not no skin off of them either. I mean, they're willing to do pro bono work on maybe 5 guys a year. And if you have 10 groups doing that, you're taking care of a lot of guys.
Great. Thank you very much.
Mike, talk about the responsibility that Roger Goodell and the owners have. If you were to talk to the owners about doing the right thing, as you said.
Well, you know, George, I talked to the owners about 5 months ago, I guess it was, and just briefly, it was the owners meeting, and I went in and people, first of all, I try to explain to people that football doesn't owe me anything. I owe my whole life to the game of football. High school, college, professional, it's been good to me. It's been good to me. It really has. I've enjoyed every bit of it. But when I see things that aren't fair, it bothers me. And I know we have a tendency, you can't live in the past and you forget about the past. This game would not be what it is without the guys who played 20, 25, 30, 40 years ago. It just wouldn't be, I'm sorry. I mean, ownership has changed. It's become a big business. Listen, I worked for George Halas. He was the founder of this league. You know, he robbed Peter to pay Paul. He didn't have anything. He had a cleaning business on the side. It's become big, big business. And nobody's going broke, gang. Players aren't going broke. Owners aren't going broke. The former players are not getting their fair shake. That's all there is to it. I mean, you can beat around the bush. You can spin it any way you want to spin it, but that's the truth. So if it's within your means and there's a possibility, and it can be channeled through the NFL alumni, do something. Help these guys. Public relations-wise, alone, I mean, you couldn't buy that kind of public relations. You're doing the right thing. And I think that's all everybody's ever talked about. Just do the right thing. You know, if it's the wrong thing, then forget about it. But I can't believe that you would say it's the wrong thing. Because these guys were, and I understand there's always people who try to push the envelope too. But this is not about that. This is about helping people who need help.
Mike, we've got new leadership with the NFL Alumni Association. We've got a brand new board. We've got some of our colleagues that we played with and against. We've got Carl Malka, you know. We've got Mike Haynes. We've got Tom Nowatzki. What do you say to the new leadership about banding together and making sure that they, as leaders, do the right thing?
Well, evidently the league's the one thing is, well, they don't know who to deal with. Well, they know who to deal with now. If they want to deal with the NFL alumni, that's who you deal with. You got one voice. I mean, the other voices eventually will go away. I mean, they're just trying to do humanitarian work. But if you can put a program in place through the NFL alumni that will take care of these guys, I think it's terrific. And I don't know why the present players wouldn't be all for this. It's no skin off their back. It's no money out of their pocket. And because they might be in that same position 20 years from now. I don't know. I'm saying they probably wouldn't be because of the income they're making, but they could be. And you never know what's going to happen with the dementia thing and the Alzheimer's thing, which there is a direct correlation whether you admit it or not, and we all know that. So when you see the Mike Websters and the Jim Ringos and the John Mackeys of the world, then you start understanding these things. There's a reason that happens. So I don't have, you know, I would say, you know, the commissioner not going to listen to me and the owners aren't going to listen to me, but I would say I think there's a way that you can do this. And like I said, to me, it's the greatest public relations thing in the world. I don't think anybody's getting going to go broke doing it. I think if you want to work through the NFL alumni, I think that makes the most sense. George has got a good board. I think you got to be persistent and keep after it. But I don't want to be a pain in somebody's back all the time either. But I mean, I know what we've done, and I know how many people we've helped, and I know how many people are grateful. Are we the answer? Nope. We're not even close to the answer. But we have created awareness, and the awareness now has made people say, well, what is that going on out there? You know, I have people come up to me in airports and everywhere else, geez, thanks for helping out the old guys. I'm really not helping the old guys out. We go out and we raise money from the public, and they help the old guys out. I'm just aware of the situations. There are old guys that need help.
Lastly, Mike, what would you say to the NFL Players Association and Morris Smith? The fact that they haven't been a contributor and that the negotiations as far as retired players have been stalemated. We haven't been able to sit down face-to-face to Morris Smith and George Martin representing active players and former players. What would you say to both sides about coming together and putting differences?
Well, I think the NFL Players Association is They've done a great job for the rights of the players. There's no question about it. The benefits, they've done a great job. But when you make a statement that you don't represent the former players, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody paid dues. We were all part of the association when it started. We all went through strikes. We all did everything. I mean, everything, but I wouldn't throw him as a player, as coach. So, I mean, I saw both sides of it. So you're saying, I don't know the exact answer. I'm just saying right now, a lot of the present players, I don't know why they seem to be, they seem to object to helping the old guys, and I don't really understand it. I'm not saying that, you know, it should come out of your pocket, that you should lose one penny. I'm saying there's a way to do it, that nobody would ever see the money if it was channeled the right way, if a certain percentage of something went through to help the alumni, help the guys who help make this league what it is. Now, I don't have the answer. Believe me, I'm not, I don't know the exact way you would do it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of money out there. We're talking about a $9 billion, I think a $9 billion business. It's getting better and better. And the only thing I would tell the Players Association, I don't care how strong you are or how much power you think you have, don't go out, don't strike. I think you lose the American public if you do that. You know, greed is a terrible thing. How much is enough? Oh, I know they're taking advantage. Are they really taking advantage of anybody? I think for sane minds to come together, both the owners and the players, if you don't do that, I really think you're cheating. You're cheating the game, you're cheating the sport, you're cheating everything if you don't come together and find a way to get this deal done.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. You guys just want to adjust the cameras real quick?
5 minutes.
Yep. Thank you.